Okay, I would like to call to order the Village of Lansing Planning Board meeting of Tuesday, June 27th to order at 7:03 PM. We do have a quorum, and Lisa is online, and she is a full voting member tonight, so not sure if Jim's going to attend, but Yumila will not be here tonight. She has another board meeting to attend. That might be Jim right there. So the first order, or the first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We've got two to approve. The first one is the minutes from May 30th, 2023. Did anyone have any other edits they wanted to make? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve them. Motion by Pat, second by Lorraine. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes for June 12th, 2023. Any other edits that people want to make to them? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the June 12th minutes. Motion by Pat. Second by Lorraine, all in favor?
Aye.
Hey, Jim.
I'm a couple minutes late. What's going on before
Mike,
this?
hey,
Yeah.
Mike, who moved that?
Both of them, motion by Pat, second by Lorraine.
Okay.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the public comment period. This is the time for anybody to, from the public to bring anything up that's not already on the agenda for tonight.
Susan Ainsley, I, covering for the board.
Hey, Susan.
Me, Mike.
I'm Carla Marceau, and I'm here representing the community party in the Village of Lansing as an observer.
Okay. Doesn't seem like there's anything else, so I'll entertain a motion to close the public comment period.
I will move to close the public comment period.
Motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Lorraine, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is to continue the public hearing for special permit number 2023-4675. Lewis Hom is applying for a special permit for approval of 2 beehives to be set up at 21 Cedar Lane, tax parcel number 48.1-2-45.2. Mike, did you want to, I know Lou is online, but did you want to start off with anything?
Just, Louis was able to get someone to come over, Mark Goebel came over and took account of the trees and the range of diameter. He didn't calculate the units, but if you take logical, it looks like he's talking about more than 30 live trees, and he says a third of those range from 18 to 26 inches. So if you take a third, take 10 trees and put them at 18 inches, that's your 30 units right there already.
Yep.
So I believe you have more than enough, and I can also vouch or verify whatever by driving by that there's an enormous amount of trees there. It's a beautiful lot. So.
Okay. Okay. Louis, anything else that you wanted to bring up?
No, I think Mike's description covers it pretty well. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments by the board? Oh, I know Lorraine did bring up one thing, the letter, or the date on the letter from Mark is wrong. It should be June 25th, 2023, not July 25th, 2023.
And the address was to the Lansing Town Hall instead of the Village of Lansing on Trip Hammer Road. It says Auburn Road.
Thanks. Any other comments from anyone on the board or questions? Anything from you, Lisa?
No.
Okay. I will then entertain a motion to close the public comment period, right? You said close, it's public comment period, then the general conditions on the resolution, Mike? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to close the public comment period.
Public hearing.
Motion by Pat,
Second.
second by Lorraine. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So before we do the resolution, I will read off the general conditions. If you have any comments at the end, let me know. So no special permit will be granted by the planning board or the board of trustees unless the requested activity meets the following general conditions. 1, it will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare. 2, it will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the vicinity or neighborhood. 3, it will not impede the orderly development of the vicinity or neighborhood and is appropriate in appearance and in harmony with the existing or intended character of the vicinity or neighborhood. 4, the street system and off-street parking facilities can handle the expected traffic in a safe and efficient manner. 5, natural surface water drainage ways are not adversely affected. 6, water and sewage or waste disposal facilities are adequate. 7, the general environmental quality of the proposal in terms of site planning, architectural design, and landscaping is compatible with the character of the neighborhood. 8, lot areas, access, parking, and loading facilities are sufficient for the proposed use. 9, the requested use or facility conforms in other respects to the applicable regulations of the district in which it is located. And 10, the applicant has shown that steps will be taken when necessary to meet all performance standards and all other applicable general conditions. Any comments? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to say the general conditions that have been met.
I move that the general conditions have been met.
Motion by Lisa,
Second.
second by Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we can move on to the resolution. Everybody has a hard copy in front of them, and I think Mike's probably bringing it up on the screen. There you go, thanks, Mike. So this is the Village of Lansing Planning Board Resolution for Special Permit Number 2023-4675, adopted on June 27th, 2023. This matter involves considerations of the following proposed action: special permit number 2023-4675 for the proposal by Louis Hom for approval of 2 beehives to be set up at 21 Cedar Lane, tax parcel number 48.1-2-45.2. And the planning board finds this to be a type 2 action for seeker purposes. And on May 30th, 2023 and June 27th, 2023, the Village of Lansing Planning Board opened and continued a public hearing regarding this proposed action, and therein thoroughly reviewed and analyzed, 1, the materials and information presented by and on behalf of the applicant in support of this proposed action, including information and materials related to the environmental issues, if any, which the board deemed necessary or appropriate for its review. 2, all of their information and materials rightfully before the board, including, if applicable, comments and recommendations, if any, provided by the Tompkins County Department of Planning in accordance with General Municipal Law Sections 239L and 239M. And 3, all issues raised during the public hearing and or otherwise raised in the course of the board's deliberations. Now therefore be it resolved. So we do have 2 options. We can grant and approve or deny the special permit. We do have the following conditions and requirements: soil and erosion prior to building, standard ones prior to building permits being issued, and required permits and approvals. Mike, I don't think there were any other conditions we were going to put on this, right?
No, and those are basically standard conditions too, and to be honest with you, this doesn't even require a building permit.
Yep, yeah. So I will entertain a motion to grant and approve the special permit.
I'll second.
Motion by Pat, second by Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
Well, thanks a lot, Louis, you're all set. Does he need to be in touch with you for anything, Michael, or is he good to go?
No, you're good to go, Louis. I mean, I don't even really need to see it. I mean, I wouldn't mind you giving me a call when you do have it set up, so I can stop out and take a picture just for the files, but that's about it.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been a great experience for Jack too. So thank you.
Yep, thank you guys so much, have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Okay, next item on the agenda is to continue the public hearing for final plat of subdivision number 2022-4630. Nushin Amati is proposing to subdivide a 4.023 acre lot located at 42 Etsy Drive, tax parcel number 43.1-1-1.1, into 2 separate lots. And Nushin was here before. It's been a little bit of time, but I know she's been working with Mike on this. So Mike, do you want to let us, or give us a quick update on this?
All we've been waiting for, I assume, I mean, Nushin was trying to get a surveyor out there to, get everything all done up, and it takes a while to get a surveyor going. So this is pretty much straightforward. I can give you, get it up on the screen. We reviewed this before. This parcel goes along, there's a small parcel down by the lake, and that's what makes up the difference in the, if you add the 2 acres together. And Nushin's already gotten her variance, 50-foot variance here for this lot, because there's only 100-foot here, 100-foot here, so she was able to get the 50-foot variance. And we did that, if you remember, so that in this area, whoever handles parcel 2 can have a driveway that comes directly out on Esty and not out on the Route 34, which would be a nightmare. Well, that's about it.
Nushin, was there anything that you wanted to bring up?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any questions from anyone on the board? Anything from you, Lisa?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, so Michael, same thing, close the public comment period, and then there's no general conditions for this, right?
Correct.
So you do have we do have the resolution tucked inside the final plat, as long as, if you haven't seen it, it's in there, but Mike can bring that up on the screen too. With that, I will entertain a motion to close the public comment period. Motion by Pat, second by Jim, all in favor?
All right,
Okay, so then we can move on to the resolution. This matter involves consideration of the following proposed action. Nushid Ahmadi is proposing to subdivide a 4.023 acre parcel located at 42 SD Drive, tax parcel of 43.1-1-1.1 into two separate parcels. The existing parcel 1 will contain 2.518 acres, including road frontage on SD Drive, Parcel 1 will also include 0.138 acres of lake frontage. The proposed parcel 2 will contain 1.367 acres with road frontage on SD Lane and East Shore Drive. And on December 20th, 2022, the Village of Lansing Board of Zoning Appeals approved and granted an area variance for lot frontage on the proposed parcel 1, contingent on planning board subdivision approval. C, on November 14th, 2022, the Village of Lansing Planning Board, in accordance with subsection D of section 125-5 of the Village of Lansing Code, 1, reviewed the sketch plan submitted with respect to this proposed action, and 2, classified the proposed subdivision as a minor subdivision. And D, the planning board finds this to be a type 2 action for seeker purposes. And E, on November 14th, 2022 and June 27th, 2023, Village of Lansing Planning Board held a public hearing regarding this proposed action, and thereafter thoroughly reviewed and analyzed the proposed final subdivision plat and accompanying materials and information presented by and on behalf of the applicant in support of this proposed action, including information and materials related to environmental issues, if any, which the board may be necessary or appropriate for its review. 2, all other information and materials rightfully before the board. And 3, all issues raised during a public hearing and or otherwise raised in the course of the board's deliberations. We have 2 options. One, we can grant the minor subdivision, or we can deny this minor subdivision. There's no additional requirements or anything like that on this. If we do approve it, I will sign the final plats that Mike made a couple copies of. So I will entertain a motion to grant the subdivision.
I move that the minor subdivision 2022-4630 be granted.
Motion by Lisa,
Second.
second by Lorraine, all in favor? Okay. So I will go ahead and sign those at the end of the meeting tonight, Nushin, and you can get in touch with Mike to come by. She does need a copy of them, right, Mike?
Yeah, there's 3 copies there, a new sheet, and I should have them at the front desk tomorrow sometime if you want. They'll be there whenever you can get there. Mike, did you close the public hearing? Did I miss that?
Yeah, we did.
Pat,
Motion by Pat, second by
and
Jim.
Jim.
Thank you for checking though, because
Thank you so much.
because
I might have forgotten before. Thanks, Nushin. Okay, the next item on the agenda is discussion of solar array draft law. So there's a couple outstanding items. One, I think Mike's gonna come out. So I did send after the last meeting, I did send out an updated copy of it for us to take a look at. It's the same one that I had sent out the meeting before that too. Nothing had changed in between the two of them. Michael also was going to update the unified solar permit and make it in a more friendly format that we had seen some other municipalities do. So if you are here, there is a hard copy of that in front of you to look over. I didn't hear any comments or anything back from anyone about the latest draft of the proposal. Do you have one, Jim?
no. Well, let me look in this.
Yep, I see it, it's at the bottom of that pile there.
Yeah, this was the stuff I got this afternoon.
I just finished it up this
Oh.
afternoon, so that's why I don't have it.
So we can talk about the unified solar permit first. Mike did just finish it up this afternoon. It's very similar to a couple, like I said, other municipalities that have drafted it up to make it a little easier to understand, a little more applicant friendly.
Easier to read.
It is a lot easier to read than the other one, yeah. The draft one is kind of burdensome.
If you gotta figure, if you're gonna get something from me, there's not gonna be a lot of big words in it anyway. So I eliminated those.
But I think, Mike, right, you said you did want everyone to take a look over it between now and the next meeting, and if they had any edits to it, to actually physically make the edits on the paper.
Physically make the edits for me and send it back to me, because then it doesn't get jumbled and whatnot with me. I'm a simple person, so.
Yeah, and this one's a little interesting. It's, mostly in a form format, which isn't the easiest in the world to mark up either, so.
There's gonna be some spacing items, there's gonna be all of that, I understand that, because I just, like I said, I put it together today, and, but the actual language should be okay on it. And if there's other suggestions, let me know. If you want it formatted a little different, let me know. But I simplified it quite a bit, actually.
Could I ask a question about it?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, actually, I went off the town of Islip one. That's the one that we were working with, right?
Yes, I used that one and modified that one. Yep.
Because they picked up some typos and stuff, but, okay, so I was wondering, when it came to, what is our permit? Are we going to charge different amounts of money? This is based on our code tells us what the permit fees are?
Yeah, our permit fees at this point are going to be basically for a special permit, which is the same as a building permit. Residential, it'll be on the new one when I send it to you. Residential is $50 plus $2 per thousand cost of the project, and commercial is $100 plus $4 per thousand. And if I also added a note into it that if a special permit is required, there'll be another $50 in there for the public hearing for that, or public hearing cost. But like I said, I'll send that over to you.
Okay, and yeah, I had some stuff that I will get to you. But it was, as you said, it's mostly like just formats, or like there was not really anything, I don't think, in terms of the content that was different, except I would make some changes, but we will have one more opportunity to discuss this as a board, correct?
Yep, yeah, so, yeah, this definitely, because it's the first time that everyone's seen it, so take a look over it, mark up any changes, try to get them back to Mike before the next meeting, at least by a couple days. So
yeah.
That way he can modify them and we can discuss, everybody's edits together. And then the other thing is, there is the latest draft solar law that I did send out to everybody. It's from May 5th. Take a look at that and do the same thing. If you do have edits, those you can send back to me electronically. I can merge everyone's requested changes in there, no offense. Okay.
I have questions on the law, on the solar energy one when we're ready.
On the draft law?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a matter of agreeing a bit before I go making changes about style.
Okay.
So that, for example, I'm assuming we're always going to capitalize tier 1 and tier 2, their initial
Yes.
cap, okay?
Sure.
And then in terms of handling numbers, I was always sort of taught to, you write out the amount, or in the like 110%, you write out percent, you use the symbols. We were inconsistent, and I'm just wondering what we want to do with numbers. Like, do we always say 12 written out months, or do we want to use 12 written out and then parens numbers? What's the thing that we should be doing, since this is a legal document?
I always write out any number in letters that's below or equal to 10, and anything above that, I put the number. So 11 would be 11, 10 would be TEN.
Actually, 10 should be.
That's my same.
10 should be numeric.
10 should also be numeric, there you go. I don't do it that
So
often.
what? So you 1 through 9, you write out.
Yeah.
I always do 10 to TEN.
And are we going to decide what we're going to do? Okay, so 110 you would write
I would write 110 for 110.
Okay, and then when it comes to the percent, we were inconsistent with our definitions. One has percent written out. I think in a funny way, it's easier to do it with a symbol.
It's acceptable either way,
Yeah, I was gonna say that one, I don't, that says that one's acceptable either way, I don't have a preference.
as far as grammar goes. But I think Lisa's point is, let's be consistent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
I don't care.
to make the point even finer, will percent be one word or two words?
One.
Oh, well, we can be here all night, but I'm just, I mark all this stuff up and then I think, well, maybe, okay.
I wasn't being facetious.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, I'll go through and for, at least, if you have other ones, let me know, because I wrote those ones down, I will go through.
Well,
For
it's just
consistency.
stupid. Excuse me, it's things like, are we always going to initial cap special permit and building permit or not? There are some cases where actually it shouldn't be, I think, but it get, how nitpicky do we want to get here? I always like to be nitpicky on this stuff.
No, it's not nitpicky, it's important.
Yeah, I'll look and see. I was gonna say, I'll look and see what is in the rest of our code, but I'm not exactly sure that's gonna give us an answer. But we can be consistent in this document.
Right, starting now.
Starting now, yeah. Yeah, I wrote those ones down too.
And because this is going to be our code, they keep talking about the municipality. Do we want to call ourselves the municipality, or do we want to actually say Village of Lansing? This has to do with when the decommissioning, that the property, that we are the assignee. So I thought maybe Village of Lansing would be better, but maybe not. I don't know. Natalie might have an opinion on that one.
I'll take a look at it.
The Village of Lansing, because you refer to yourself as the village throughout the rest of the document, so
Municipalities, okay.
I would say village.
Oh, okay. But not just, the word municipality wasn't working for me. Okay, just village. Okay, thank you. All right. Those are my only things.
Oh, okay.
Style stuff. I'll get my comments to you.
So if everybody wants to wait until maybe, I don't know if anyone's gonna race home tonight and start reviewing them, but if you all wait until tomorrow or Thursday, I will go through and I will do those 5 or 6 things and send out a fresh copy.
Great.
Yeah, you can wait, okay, that's good.
So, Mike, I will go through and proof this for you, just right off the bat. The town of Islip is in here multiple times, so you need to change that to the Village of Lansing.
Oh, yeah, I got all those too, Lorraine. I'm watching.
And the other thing is, and I noticed, I'll go through though tomorrow and I'll read it word for word for you. But I just wanted to tell you that because you might want to go in and change those now, and maybe print us fresh copies. Also, I see that you have your cell phone number in here. Is that a business cell phone number? Or is that your personal cell? Oh, okay. Do you want your cell phone number in
I
there?
don't see where the,
Oh, page 2 is the first one, right here.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I thought I got most of them, but, okay.
Yeah, there's another one too, on the page where your cell phone is, up at the top.
If you just read your personal cell phone number off right now, it'll be part of the record. I don't have it off YouTube anytime.
It's up at the beginning, Mike. I think it's one,
I see right here, it's on there.
but I'll go through, I was just skimming through, but I will,
That's kind of why
I'll read it
There it
carefully
is.
tomorrow.
I got it over to you guys. I just took out the things that,
When did you send that, Mike?
I just saw, I just went in and sent it to you and Natalie a second ago.
Oh, okay. Because I was saying, I thought I checked
And
everything.
like I said, I did it about 5:30 today, so
Oh, okay.
We'll let that slide then.
thanks, appreciate that.
I was wondering, I was like, man, you caught some of those things real quick.
I look at Natalie, and it looks like she wants to blurt out something.
We don't accept credit cards here, do we? No.
No, we don't.
Okay.
I took that out of there.
All right.
Other things people want to discuss at a high level about the solar array draft law?
Were we gonna pass this by anyone else before we send it to the trustees? I know it
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, I was gonna, go ahead. I thought you had a question, Lisa, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, we had at one point talked about possibly if Tony and Graffy would be available, whether he would take just a peek at it to be sure we haven't.
Yeah, no, I chatted with Tony, and I did tell him that once we thought we were someplace in a final position, that I would pass it along to him to make some comments on.
Okay,
So maybe after the next meeting or so, we can do that.
okay.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we can move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the trustee report. Who was that one? That was you. Oh, there you go, yeah, you were just talking about it. at the
So
beginning.
Mike, you can, if I screw something up here, you can correct me. There was, just for those of you that weren't in Ithaca last night, well, Lisa knows because she was on the Zoom. It was really, really hard for me being on Zoom during the meeting because the storm was going on and there was so much feedback in the room. I had a really hard time. Plus, the first presenter, her screen ended up freezing during her presentation. And anyway, I did the best I could. So the trustee meeting, there was a presentation by Agnes Gillow was her name?
Yeah.
She gave a presentation on the non-pipes program. She's a community educator at Cornell Cooperative Extension. And the program is for gas customers to upgrade to heat pumps. She had said this presentation was specifically for Lansing residents who want to upgrade to heat pumps. It's a 3-year program. It started in September 2022 and will run through September 2025. At one point, she had up on her screen different zones, color-coded, that were eligible for different funding. And she also said that you had to work through the earth-sensitive solutions. And there were like, 4 options, 4 different companies that you could work through, like Snug Planet, Halco, Daily, Geotherman, and Van Hee Mechanical. And that was about all I got out of that, because she did freeze, and that was kind of a mess. And then there was the presentation about the PDA proposal for 20 Bomax Drive by Alex Marigold, who's a local architect. The proposal is to convert the property at 20 Bomax Drive to a residential area for a 225 to 250 unit apartment complex, 1-bedroom to 4-bedroom units. The property would also include a pool, tennis courts, courtyard, and a community area. The plan is to retain the factory building and keep as much of the original footprint as possible. I'm not sure who is backing this project. He mentioned Tom Schickel, but Tom Schickel's an architect, so.
Yeah, Tom started working on this and Alice took over for him. I don't think Tom has anything to do as far.
Oh, okay, so I didn't pick up where he said who was supporting this project. Did he even say?
I know the owners, when they first came in, when Tom first came in, he said that the owners were looking to go into a different direction. So I don't know whether they have backers or whatnot.
Okay. Also, the other thing I wasn't sure of is, was this market rate housing or affordable housing or mixed? I don't remember him saying anything about that during his presentation. And just so, I mean, I think most of you all know that Transect Technology is on that property now and they lease that property. And according to what Alex said last night, their lease ends in December, but they hadn't made a decision yet if they're staying or moving out of there. Anyway, that was about all I got out of that.
Yeah, the planning, or the Board of Trustees, I believe that Alex will be coming back. There's a few other pieces of information. I sent him an email today. There's the Appendix A2 requires a few other pieces of information to be presented at a so-called, which you'd be used to, a sketch plan, so to speak. He's gonna follow up with that information, and we're waiting for the Board of Trustees to hand in some questions to Jody. So I would imagine that Alex will be coming back to try to finalize this and try to convince the trustees to move this along, so.
Well,
And the trustees really don't have to get into any of the specifics of it. That's gonna be the planning board's job. They are kind of left with the task of finding out whether this is actually going to be beneficial to the village, and whether they feel that it's going to be an attractive project, so.
Well, as you know, that's my neighborhood, and so I probably will have a problem with it. I didn't think it was an attractive sketch plan at all, and 250 units is a lot. I mean,
How big is East Point?
East Point's only 104.
Okay.
So that's much smaller. And also, you're all welcome to come over to my driveway and stand in it. And if you stand in my driveway, Transac is right there and you can see it. And I had friends that lived at East Point, both in buildings 2 and 4, and their patio and their decks face Transac. And that building actually, if you stand in my driveway, the Transac building actually looks higher or just about at the same peak level as the top of the roofs of building 2 and 4. But it was, they all had, people that I knew complained that lived in both buildings because there was no scenic view other than looking into the office windows. And plus the trucks that would come in, the loading dock is right on that end. There's no coverage there. I mean, it's wide open.
Well, I mean, that could theoretically, that could be addressed.
Yeah, but that's a lot of units, and it's not a very attractive, I mean, his drawing looked to me like a factory, right, basically.
Well,
Maybe
I think that one of the things I would be interested in knowing about is what kind of, are these workforce housing, that there might be some other
Right.
factors that really could be additional, but you know, given what we did with our PDAs in the past, Lorraine, it's really important to be thinking about the things you want, because it is its own zone, and it's based on, we can set conditions that we want.
Yeah.
And not that we get all of them, but you got to keep that in mind. But on the other hand, then you have to also consider the fact that that was zoned for Transact before East Point went in. And so it existed before and it is part of the code. So some of this is just what comes with change, but do keep in mind the PDA is very special, but I really want to hear all of the things that they have to say.
Yeah.
Because I really am very committed to seeing if we can get some workforce housing in our village.
And I'll just add that the items that have to be addressed in the A2 appendix in the preliminary proposal initially include financing and the type of housing it'll be. So we should have some preliminary answers from them on those questions, Lorraine, pretty soon before the board can even vote to move it on to the plan board.
Okay, well, you know, and I even wondered if it's like student housing, especially when they're talking about 4-bedroom apartments, which is kind of a rare thing around here, right? I mean.
It's not student housing, it's pretty rare. Well, I mean,
No, I mean, 4-bedroom apartments.
Oh, yeah.
In an apartment complex, like a development like that, you don't usually, I mean, nowadays it's like studio 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, right? And not a lot of 3 bedrooms, but 4 bedrooms, that's.
But there are people with families who
Mhm.
come from cities who like that sort of setting, perhaps. I mean, I think it's too soon. We need to hear more information.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Natalie, I did send Alex that page of what the requirements were, and I color coded it so what he did present and what is actually needed, and yes, what you said is true, along with, I think they want a temporary, well, not a temporary, temporary full EAF filled out, just items like that, and he's gonna handle all of that, so.
So who owns that property?
I would have to look that up, I don't know.
Is this like to the west of Transact?
No, it's right, it's at Transact.
It's Transact.
It is Transact.
No, I meant this proposed development.
Yeah, it's Transact, it's right there. It's in,
it would be that building.
Transact would move out, yeah.
Raise it and build it. Oh, they tear that building down.
No, they want to keep as much of the building as possible, but they're going to build onto the building, right? So, but they were still talking about how high, right? So you said 35 feet.
They would go up to 45 feet, which is.
Oh, it could go 45 feet?
Business attack.
All right, so that would be over then the East Point peaks.
How can
Well,
they
if
go
it's a
to,
PDA, that doesn't necessarily.
how can they go to 45 feet?
That's what's allowed in business and tech and health and human resources.
The PDA, so those.
PDA would override, or could override that, yeah.
But
because
he's
it would be.
going on the underlying district, so that's what he's putting on his,
Oh,
is what's allowed. Right now, what's allowed, but like Natalie said, it's a PDA, so you can create anything you
Yeah.
want.
so he also said, right, that there were gonna be like 6 blocks of units. This is the part where it was really hard to hear because of the storm. Is that what he said? Like,
I'm not, I can't remember that.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
anyway, they were gonna build up.
So we have time, though, to hear more of this, obviously.
Yeah.
Good, perhaps in person it would be best then. for the-
Yeah, rather than on Zoom.
Yeah, it was not, yeah, I gave up.
Yeah, so anyway, then they went on and did their budget transfers to approve water, sewer, and encumbrances, and then there was a general discussion which Drew started talking, and I think I missed the first part of it, but it was something about clean energy, and you'll have to watch the YouTube for that, sorry. I couldn't see any of them at that point. I was on the screen, but nobody else was, so I was basically just,
It was Jody Dake and you,
yeah.
but Jody Dake was not there. It's just the words.
Okay, anything else? That was it? Okay, other business, Pat, anything?
I noticed the traffic light at Bomax and Warren seems to be working,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah, they were digging that up and changing something in there.
Good, did somebody finally complain?
I pulled up today,
I was gonna get back here and just call everybody up and tell everybody that they were.
Go drive down there.
I got back and got distracted, so.
yeah, I pulled up and I was operating to the post office
I
and
was gonna test it,
light change and there's nobody else
turning
turning.
right, but then a car came out of the post office, so. it
I'll
tripped
have to, I know that, I know it, I'll have to test it.
Okay, Lorraine, anything?
Yeah, actually, I do. There's the huge dumpster behind the O'Connell Lodge. Have you seen that dumpster back there? It's like a construction dumpster. It's overflowing. You seen that?
We'll have to ask.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till Mike comes back over. Anyway, I've been watching it, so I could report tonight. I mean, are they gutting the place out? There's tons of junk in it. It's not garbage, it's like junk, like,
Maybe they are, yeah, I mean,
I mean,
like a construction trailer out behind the Econo Lodge, are they?
overflowing. It's been overflowing for a while.
Construction behind the Econo.
No.
Construction dumpster.
The Casella dumpster behind the O'Connell Lodge, it's like one of those big construction Casella, it's overflowing.
Okay,
I've been watching it since last week.
I'll stop out there.
Are they gutting the place out? I mean, it doesn't look like garbage, it looks like junk, like stuff they've like,
They don't have any permit for it, but I'll stop over there and check things out.
okay.
I'll check it out.
Anything else, Lorraine? Jim?
I don't have anything, but as long as Lorraine's asking a question, I may have asked this before, but I don't remember the answer. What are the plans or status of the old Hilton, the motel that's across from the M&T Bank and
Oh,
behind
sure.
the trust company?
Oh, the Trip Hotel, you mean?
The Trip Hotel, I think, was its most recent.
Yeah, it used to be the Clarion. Yeah.
Claire, and before that, it
And
was a
that was
Hilton.
Sheraton, remember?
Sheridan Drive.
That's right.
Their representatives have, over the last 3 months, have been threatening to open that up. But they have violations through the health department and through this office, and they haven't addressed anything, so they say they want to open up and they want us to come over there and take a look at everything, but they never called us, so.
There's nothing going on over, I mean, I drive
Nothing
by.
going on, I mean, I wheel out of here, like, for example, last night I wheeled out of here, drove around there to make sure nobody was doing anything or check lights or whatnot. I haven't seen anything going on.
Yeah, I know when I've driven by there, like going up to McGuire or something, like
Yeah.
no signs of life or
No,
activity.
none.
It's looking more and more derelict. Yeah. And I just was curious what.
Yeah, there's still the health department placard down there that hasn't closed down.
No, I didn't even know there's a placard on the door.
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
What was it, do the restaurant or plumbing or?
The reason they got placard was they had one of the exit doors barricaded,
Oh,
and that just started the whole, and we had already written them up on a lot of the sprinkler system. A lot of the heads weren't working. They didn't verify their fire alarm system. There's a few items. I mean, they can all be fixed, it's just a matter of when they want to do it.
And is it still the ownership of the Trip Hotel, or do they sell to
As far as I
somebody
know,
else?
it's the same owner.
Well, he's probably making money across the street now, so he's probably not worrying about the Trip Hotel, because I see there's been more cars in the
What,
parking
at
lot.
the Blue? You mean?
Yeah, at the
At where?
Blue.
Hey, you're the
See
one-
the Blue, he owns that now.
What's the Cayuga?
Also was the Sheraton, or there, yeah.
Clarion, across from Tops, across from
It
Tops.
used to be
The
Ramada,
old Holiday Inn years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ramada.
Mike, is there something going on with the Friendlies? Because I noticed that the signs, the leasing signs or whatever are off the,
Nothing that I'm aware of.
oh, okay.
Lisa, anything you wanted to bring up?
No, nothing, yeah, not yet. We have some time, we have an interesting meeting coming up in July, I think.
Yeah. How about you, Natalie, anything? Thanks for zooming in tonight, covering for Wendy.
No problem. I have nothing to add. Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you.
Do you know when you're coming back, Natalie? Just curious.
August 7th.
August 7th.
Goodness.
I think there's a planning board meeting that night.
Yes. Yes. August 8th, no,
July.
yeah, she might want to zoom in for that one. So I know Mike will give you the last word, but I know, Pat, you've got the July meetings, July 3rd and July 17th. Are the trustees meeting July 3rd?
No, remember, no. They-
July 17th, man.
Just remember, I told you, I go, Pat, you're gonna be happy about this.
There's gotta
Yeah,
be,
no, they're not gonna meet July 3rd.
No.
there's gotta be some kind of holiday on the 17th too.
For the first two, right? The 3-meeting month.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, they're not gonna do one on the, they only have 2 meetings a month, even if it's a,
3 meeting a month.
yeah, so no, yeah, they're not,
We don't do it every 2 weeks.
no, it's just twice a month, so yeah, really just the 17th.
Oh, darn.
Man, I know.
I don't know, when's Flag Day? Flag Day?
That's-
You laugh, I'm gonna go and look at July 17th, it'll be something. Yeah, no, nothing, it's
I'm
weird.
just picking, Susan.
Nothing nothing yet, right?
Probably no holidays in August, though.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike?
Next meeting is the 10th, right? July 10th.
Yes.
Yes.
You probably have David Beer then.
Yep.
He was gonna come, the story is, he was going to come at this meeting. When he sent me his final plat along with all of the infrastructure, I sent it out to Don D. Harner and John Courtney and said, okay, is this what you guys agreed upon? Is this okay to send to the planning board? Well, I guess there were quite a few items that weren't changed. And whether it was a miscommunication or however it was, David's engineer thought that those were suggestions and not requirements. So nothing ever got done. So now they're going to try to change those items, and some of them were rather large items. They had to do with the sewer system, and unless some of it had to do with the easements on there, where the easements were going to be. So he's going to try to have that done for the 10th, to see if the planning board will verbally approve it, so that he can try to go get some financing. At that point, if it does get verbally approved, then he's got to take the next step, which includes getting estimates for infrastructure, any type of phasing. There's a whole list of requirements. So that's where we're at with that. And the end of the month, I have not heard back from Eric. He did take his sign down, which I wrote him up on. But I have not heard back from him whether he is either coming or whether he hasn't given me a schedule on when his concrete guys are starting. We'll see.
Didn't you tell him that it was getting overgrown on his property?
Yep.
And it looks pretty bad, actually. I
Yep,
noticed.
I'll just,
It's like out of control all of a
I'll
sudden.
send him another violation, just change the date on it.
Jeez.
And that's
That's about it.
David Beer responded about the abandoned car.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah.
He's going to move it out so it is unseen.
Oh, well,
So he's gonna put it on the other side.
it's still there. It's getting harder to see though, with the cat, because the trees.
I was gonna say, now that everything's green and growing.
I know, you have to really slow down and really look, yeah.
I said it needs to be unseen.
Okay.
I'll let you know when he moves it around the back of the Quonset hut.
Kind of blends in with,
Maybe CFC will complain then.
yeah. Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:48 PM.
Before we do that, could I just note, even though I came in a couple minutes late, I would, on the minutes that you already voted on, I would have had to abstain in both of them in any event, so maybe you already figured that out, but I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. Still 7:48 PM. Oh, motion by Paul.
Second.
Second by Jim, all in favor?
All right.
Aye, thanks, everybody. Is,